You're listening to Were You Still Talking? The real stuff. I don't know why I'm holding this because I have no idea. Okay, let me try this.
All right.
Hey, welcome back. This is Joel Albrecht and Ryan. Oh my gosh, I'm spacing the last name already. I didn't write anything down. Ryan.
Hi, Joel.
Seacrest.
My name's Ryan Olson.
I knew that. Oh.
Middle initial
Man.
D for
Devil.
Danger.
Danger. Ryan
Dale.
Danger Olson's in the studio today. We're going to do a podcast. I know Ryan through acting. Ryan is the actor. He's done his own production as well. He's made some movies. He also is a vet and veteran.
Yeah.
Oh, is that better?
Yeah.
Oh, because you don't work on animals?
Yeah.
You're a veteran. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I washed my dog today.
And you,
So,
well, you do work on animals.
well, you know.
Okay. Fantastic. So we'll probably get into that too. Thanks a lot for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome to have you. I thought I wanted to get you face to face so you could talk in the real world instead of just on the Facebook.
Yeah, the Facebook or on set.
Or on set. We barely ever talk on set.
I know. And when we do, it's like
right.
Joel,
It's always,
Ryan.
because we're method and we're always in character.
I'm so method.
Yeah, I can tell. So method.
Yeah. Well, I feel like, if you don't feel it, they're not going to feel it.
It's true. That's a part of the method that I believe in, actually. Because, and I've heard various views on that. I've worked with people with various views on that. It still works. I've seen a lot of actors that literally are pretending the whole time. There's a great video about that with on YouTube. Oh, it's from the show Extras. You ever seen that?
I love it.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah, I'm forgetting the actor now who is teaching about acting, and he's...
Ian McKellen.
Yeah. Ian McKellen.
I am the sorcerer.
What I do is I pretend. I love that. But yeah, that only goes so far, I think, especially with video, film, whatever. Man, you can tell when somebody is not there.
Totally. As soon as their eyes kind of check out of the scene, you know it's
lost.
Yeah, it's lost.
I just saw you posted about Tom Hardy recently.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really good example of someone. I mean, I don't know if he's method or not, but he's an amazing. He's always in his character.
Always.
Because his characters are so completely different.
Yeah.
So different. It's hard to recognize him sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I do now, but when I first was watching him in different things, I had no idea who he was.
Yeah. Warrior. That was the one for me. When I saw that, I was like, I thought it was it's Joel Edgerton and Tom Hardy and kicking each other's butts in a ring, doing, was it kickboxing or something like that?
Uh-huh.
MMA.
Doing MMA.
And I thought it was two MMA fighters. I was like, dude, these guys are good actors. And then I watched Bronson and don't even recognize him in Bronson. And then I kind of put the two together and I was like, holy cow, man, this guy is, so.
Yeah, I saw him in the Batman movie, Dark Knight Rises. Is that it?
Yeah.
And of course I didn't recognize him because he's behind a mask, which is another thing that, there's not many actors that will do that will just be completely hidden for an entire movie and not care at all. And then I saw him in the series he did, Taboo.
Yep.
Taboo.
Oh,
and that's the first
fantastic.
time he looked like a person.
Right, yeah.
Oh, he's an actual person.
Yeah, he's in Peaky Blinders, too.
And that's right, Peaky Blinders, where, again, he's totally different. He looks different. He talks different.
Right.
It's one of my favorite characters in Peaky Blinders.
Oh, absolutely. I can't wait for the he's playing Al Capone.
Oh.
And they've just released some makeup stills of it. And, it's when Al Capone had his, syphilis? I think it was syphilis he had. So it's
I didn't know that.
Messing up his face and can't even tell it's him. But I predict he's going to win the Oscar.
We will. That's an early prediction. I actually think, without even seeing the movies, I think Brad Pitt's going to win.
Oh,
for one of the two movies.
What is, he has a space one and
he has a space one.
Oh,
and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and the talk is that he's amazing in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and the space one hasn't even come out yet, and he's probably better in that one. At least in the previews, it looks pretty interesting. Pretty interesting.
These people we look up to.
I know. It's nuts.
We can only strive.
Bunch of scrubs.
Hacks.
Absolutely.
Phoning it in every time. Yeah, those guys are, good people to, I don't know, look up to. Not in a personal way, but like talent way. I like to watch them and study them and try to notice when they're in the moment and try to kind of do the same thing for myself. As far as being in the moment, I feel like one, it's just fun to pretend to be somebody else.
Yeah.
Because I'm not too, it's just fun to be somebody else. Pretend, like be a kid for the rest of your life. That's what I love about it. I also like to make people think and feel, as far as putting across messages or topics,
Yeah.
I like to make people uncomfortable.
Sure.
I really
there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's some of the best art of any kind is when it makes people a little uncomfortable. That's how you make people think. Yep. It's easy for me to know when I'm not in the moment because I think, am I in this?
Once your mind, once your mind is wandering, you're off. You're not there.
You're not there. It's when the scene ends and you went, oh crap! Did I say my line? And what did I do?
Yeah.
That's when you weren't thinking about it.
Yeah.
Not thinking about it. So how did you get started acting? And how long have you been acting? Like, have you acted your entire life?
Well, kind of.
Everyone has.
I mean, well, once I saw Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh, interesting.
I was like, that's what I want to do.
Really?
I want to be that guy. Right? And the only way I got to see these movies was when I would come here as I was living in Bend with my mom. And my dad lived here in Eugene. And he had HBO because Bend at that time didn't have even cable.
Interesting.
So I would come over and he would tape these because he had a VHS player at the time too, which is like, whoa, what, big deal at the time to have that. He had the cable, the one that had the little panel that you'd push the numbers on for the digital, or that wasn't even digital, for the cable box. It was just, you would push buttons. It had like 23 numbers, I think, for the different channels, which was high tech back then.
Extremely.
Yeah, totally. And it had the wood finish on it, But anyway, he would videotape or record. He recorded that, and then the other one that he recorded that really changed me was Stand By Me.
Oh, interesting.
And I thought, well, if I want to do that, be Indiana Jones, Harrison Ford or whatever. Well, I know that I can do it because these kids are doing it, and they're doing it very well.
Yeah. Yeah.
You watch River Phoenix, and there's that monologue that he has where he's crying and he's, saying he's not worth anything because the lunch lady stole the milk money and had a new sweater when he came back, and everybody was blaming him, and he was just crying and tears and snot, and that sold me. I was just like, I want to do that. Yeah,
he was ridiculously good for his age and throughout his career, his very short career. That was bizarre.
Yeah, it was
bizarre life, but that's Hollywood, one of those just sheer talents.
Yeah,
sheer talent.
And so I'd play around like any kid does, but I would always be making movies or whatever, and like my dad would run around in the backyard, and we'd be making war movies with my cousins, and no script, nothing, just kind of free for all, improv, Rambo, whatever. Then I got into high school and had to be cool.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Then
you couldn't be.
So I had to
quit.
So
you didn't want to hang out with the theater geeks?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I wanted to, but it was like my last elective when I knew I wasn't going to get the class. And then I quit band because I played percussion for a number, from 6th grade till I think my sophomore year in high school. I played
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a long time to stick with that. That means you probably can read really well. Or actually, you can probably count really well.
I can keep tempo. I know what a paradiddle is.
You probably know what a rest is, too.
Yeah.
You did percussion.
There's
a lot of rest.
Rest. Cymbal. Bass. The big bass drum. Circle. Yeah, so then I did a lot of sports and tried football, but I was way too small. I was like 100.
Oh, really?
I was like 150 pounds when I graduated.
But wow. I was 155.
Big guy. But I did track and, was pretty successful with that. And, but then after that, I didn't think I was going to go to college. So between my junior and senior year, I joined the military and on the delayed entry program. And in my senior year, I won state for the triple jump in track. And then I was getting like all these letters and, for colleges all around the country. And sorry, I joined the military. And
I see. So you couldn't defer for another 4 years or whatever.
Right. There's word out on the street that I could have maybe got out of the delayed entry program and like not, gone into the military, but I don't know. And I'm not going to try to change the past, but
yeah.
So then I couldn't do any more acting for another 5 years because I was in the military for 5 years. So anyway, and I got out of the military, spent a year in Southern California working in the oil fields, and then my stuff, my PTSD, but it was social anxiety disorder at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So
do you mean it wasn't called PTSD?
Right. Yeah, I think.
Okay, they didn't have that.
Right.
Word
they
for
were
yet.
labeling it social anxiety.
It started in World War I with shell shock. Right?
Yeah.
Same thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's totally the same thing.
Same thing.
Yeah. And then I moved back up here, and anyway, around 2003, 2002-ish, I went to Lane and tried to go to school and freaked out. And it took me about another year to go again. And then I was like, I'm going to try this acting thing. 'Cause I've always wanted to do it. Like, It's always been what I wanted to do. I just kind of needed to get the guts to do it.
Okay.
And took the classes, took one class at Lane and stopped going to math class and stopped going to English class and only went to theater.
Theater.
And
so who was the theater? Who was the class from? Anyone remember?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I took improv and Shakespeare from Sparky Roberts.
Okay.
Judith.
I know that name.
Yeah. She does the Magical Moomba at the Shed.
And was Ragazzino still there when you were going to Lane?
No.
You remember? No. He was gone already. Okay.
Yeah. And I took the acting classes from Patrick Torelli.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did that for about 4 years. And I think in the last year I was kind of going for free. Patrick was letting me sit in.
Nice.
Nice. But I was pretty much, you got to go, dude. You're done.
They were done with you.
But yeah.
Not going to learn any more from the same class again and again.
Again, yeah. So then I went to just kind of start. I think I got my first community theater gig at VLT, I think is.
Yeah.
VLT, and I think I did another one at Actors Cabaret.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I think the very last thing that I did was at a Northwest 10 performance at OCT.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when was that? About 6 years ago?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Oh, wow.
So.
But you've still been doing stuff.
Yeah. Well, do you remember?
I know you did stuff with Nick. Right? Didn't you do that before Oof?
Mm-mm.
Oh, I thought you did.
Mm-mm. No. Let's see, around 2000. Do you remember Trial by Fire Theater Works?
No.
Yeah, around in town. It was around for like a year and a half, maybe 2 years.
Uh-huh.
I helped a lot with that. I was kind of the carpenter, set builder, actor, tried to get that going. We did a lot of good shows. I really liked it. It was a lot of more, kind of raw guts theater. We did like Hurly Burly, you know, where we were kind of sniffing cocaine on stage and, you know, little girls running around in lingerie, and I was headbutting them and, you know, pulling guns and punching people. And then we did a Hamlet, you know, where we did some sword fighting, and that was fun.
Awesome. I've always wanted to do sword fighting.
Oh, it was fun. Yeah.
That looks really fun. So how did you were sniffing cocaine on stage? Or?
Yeah, well, not really, you know, but
what were you using? I've always wondered.
It was, I can't remember what it was. It was like it was a powder though. It was a powder though, because we were really close. You know, the audience is really close.
Oh, okay. So you had to sniff something.
And I remember one time I put a line down, and because we would just go next to it, right, and then like dump it or whatever,
right.
And I remember one time a little bit of that got into my nose, and I was trying not to, and they were speaking over on the other side of the stage, and I couldn't help it. Finally, it was just like, but it worked. The audience was like, yeah, okay, and I was like, you know, did my fingers in the water and sniffing up my nose.
Like a real reaction.
Yeah, you know,
sure.
I had to play it off like it was a good thing I had done some.
Good, you did the research.
Yeah, totally.
You did the research
without even knowing it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And then that kind of tanked. That went, just wasn't. It tanked. Mm-hmm. It was no longer. And man, let's see here. That's bad. That dead pause there. That you don't want that. You don't want that on the thing.
I might.
So I got a job. I kind of had to get a job. Right? So I started working at the Dairy Mart on 99 and Royal, and my grandma lived like right across the street from Fairfield School, and I was staying there because she had just died.
Oh no!
And so I asked my dad if I could stay there because I was home. I didn't have a place to live. And then I got held up at work one day.
Oh no!
Which is not good. The dude was like,
"Man,
the dude's like, why don't you hand me, you know, give me a bag of money?" And I was like, "What? I can't hear. I don't understand what you're saying. You know, like, I don't work well with that kind of thing. I will match you. I will match you. You know, give me your money." And I was like, "What? I don't understand what you're saying." He goes, "Do I need to write you a letter?" And I pulled out my pen. I go, "Do you need a fucking pen?"
Oh.
And then his friend was like, "Let's go." And then they left, and then I was shat my pants, you know, and then went home and had an anxiety attack because I had to go to work the next day and slept for slept for like 17 hours. I blacked out. I don't remember what happened, and woke up the next morning, and the phone was just loaded with messages, you know, and I just called, you know, from work, and I called in. How much trouble am I in? They want me to fire you.
Because you got robbed?
Because I didn't show up to work. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. You know.
Yeah, that's...
yeah, because I got robbed or whatever. And I didn't handle it correctly. You know, that kind of thing. It didn't follow the protocol. So I had $50. I got fired. The house got sold. Had $50 in my pocket. And I think a week later... I got the decision from the VA that I got
you got benefits.
I was getting benefits, and it was all back paid. And so I went from $50 to like within 2 weeks I had $50,000 in my pocket. So, like, what do you do with that? You know, after 12 years of living hand to mouth, like you know, what do you do? Whoa. So I decided to start my own film company and bought a MacBook.
You didn't buy a Chevelle?
I bought my truck.
Okay.
Should have bought
a nice truck.
1970 Chevelle Super Sport would be sweet. Yes. Yeah. So I got my truck, and then.
And you started a film company.
Yeah. Yeah. So with Chris White, the dude, the VR, at Multiverse.
Oh yeah.
Go to Multiverse.
Yeah, Chris.
Yeah, Chris.
The guy that kept spooking me out.
Yeah.
Freaking me out, man.
Yeah, he is a weirdo.
Oh man, you're freaking me out.
And this other guy, Michael Maruska, and then we had a couple other guys. Working with it, Jesse, and you know, we tried to do that for a little while, and that just didn't work out. I didn't know what I was doing business wise, and probably smoking way too much pot and drinking too much beer to make a logical decision at any point in time. And but we made a couple things, and eventually everybody wanted to start getting paid. How dare them?
Oh man, that sucks.
Like, you're spending all your time, and you're not just going to donate it.
And you're not just. I know. Yeah, I'm that way sometimes. I feel like I should get paid, but
yeah. So that when that went downhill, I just kind of got really super depressed.
Oh, bummer.
And thought, 2 failures in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as the theater goes, I felt guilty by association because of one of the owners, and I'm not going to name names, but so yeah, I got depressed for about a good 5 years, 6 years. I'm just kind of coming out of it now, with the out of focus and all that. That's kind of the first thing that I've really done in a while.
And did you have any way to get help with depression, or did you just try and help yourself, or like? Yeah,
I buckled and went to the VA.
That's not buckling.
I know.
That's not buckling.
It's not.
No,
I went. I searched it out, and they had me on Prozac for a while, for a couple years.
Oh, they did. I was going to ask you if they gave you any stupid drugs.
Yeah, they did.
And I've known lots of people who've gone through depression, as I'm sure we both have, and I don't know many people that were really helped by drugs, unless they had a serious mental illness, like unless something was wrong with their brains,
like schizophrenia.
Like schizophrenia, manic depressive. Sometimes can't function if they're not on certain medications. Like, they literally will ruin their life if they're not. I've seen people. I've known people like that they will. They'll run out in the streets naked.
Right.
But unfortunately, the medicine they put them on puts them in the opposite corner, where they're just going to lie in bed and drink beer. Zombie, which is terrible. So it's hard for me to, a lot of those medicines I think are overprescribed and maybe don't do a lot. And what was your experience?
Well, I remember the first day I took it, I was like, this is amazing. I feel so much better, right?
Right.
And then it tapers off, and you're normal, right?
Okay.
In quotes, normal. But what got me was, if I were to forget for a day or two, the side effects that quickly and that intensely of not taking it, like, my equilibrium would be all off.
Oh, wow.
And like, when I would move my eyes back and forth, it would be like jittery, and I could hear the click of the jitter in my head.
Yikes.
So I thought, I don't want something in my body that is going to make me feel like that if I don't take it. Like, it's worse if I don't take it while I'm taking it. If that makes any sense. I would rather deal with the anxiety not taking it at all.
Okay.
Like, you'd
rather try and,
like I am now, because I just went cold turkey.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I got really sick. When I went to Arizona one time, I got really sick. I had a lung infection. I probably shouldn't have flown home, but I did.
Wow.
So I was on antibiotics, and I was in bed, and I quit the Prozac, I quit drinking, I quit smoking weed, and I quit smoking cigarettes all at the same time.
Wow.
I thought I was going to die.
I bet.
Laying in bed and just having these involuntary body, like, shake and
spasms.
Spasms. Yeah. But it was... I'm glad I did it. I won't ever take another medication again. I'll just deal with it.
So that's what you do now. You just try and kind of deal with it yourself in your mind. You haven't found anything to replace medication.
Meditation.
Good.
Meditation is the medication.
Good. Meditation is a great medication.
It's probably the best.
It probably is. I mean, there's a lot of people around the world, as you probably know, that are 100% behind meditation. There's kind of a movement now that adds hallucinogens to that.
Yeah, that scares me.
I don't know, which I understand. It should, I think. It's a scary thing. But I've heard some people that I wouldn't expect talk about the possible, benefits of doing those together. And I was just like, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that sounds intense. But yeah, I always want to meditate more. I think meditation is an incredible tool. It's like exercise and diet. The more you can do that.
super cleansing.
The more it helps you, yeah.
I have a military buddy that I was in England with, and when I was in England, that was party. That was the height of the party.
Uh-huh.
It was amazing. It was so much fun. I loved going to it. I loved that. Anyway, my buddy Eric, he's now called the Singing Bull Guy. Shout out to Eric, Singing Bull Guy. But he was like the party, or like I wanted to be kind of like him as far as the party goes.
Right.
And then work hard, at work. But anyway, I got back. He lives in Bend now, and I got back in touch with him, and he came and visited, and he's like doesn't drink now. And he's completely opposite. He meditates, and he sells Tibetan singing bowls that he gets directly from Tibet.
Oh, cool.
And he actually does
interesting
healing performances around,
like sound healing.
Yeah, he was at the Oregon Country Fair, but he was he wasn't in the fair. He was kind of on the outskirts, one of the other camps.
Oh, okay.
And
there's a lot. There's a lot there.
And he gave me
there's a lot at the fair.
He gave me I love them. Yeah, I worked the fair one year.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I saw
that would be fun.
Sticks. Anyway, he gave me a bowl and put it on my chest, and you gong it, and the vibrations go through your body, and it sounds all woo woo.
It is woo woo, but it probably works.
It works. It's amazing.
Some
woo
woo works.
I'm totally works.
I honestly don't believe in all woo woo, but I'm pretty woo woo with a lot of things. I mean, another friend of mine does healing, sound healing stuff, and he was on the podcast. John, he did the music for the podcast, and
Jon Griffin.
Yeah,
should have been a doctor.
Should have. That's right. Should have been a Dr. John.
Dr. John.
No one's going to know what we're talking about for at least a year.
Yeah, right. It will come out.
It will come out. We are willing it to come out. But
I believe in the sound, because everything is, vibrational.
Well, and there's a lot of science behind it as well.
I'm not sure I believe in the crystals, though.
Everything is vibrational. I mean, I'm a drummer, so I know I had my neighbor on the podcast, and he said that his plants grow better. You can see his plants out there. He's not my neighbor. He lives like a mile or two away. Oops, I gave something away on the podcast. Oops. But that's okay. No one listens. Anyway, he says his tomato plants.
Oh.
His tomato plants grow much better.
Yeah.
So
it is legal.
Yeah, I'm gonna do. It is. It's true. I just am still paranoid about
old
it because
habits
I'm
die
old.
hard. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm more paranoid about someone wanting it. But at this point, if they can't get it, where do they live? What are they doing?
Yeah, I know.
Who are they pissing off that they're not being given a bag a week or something?
Yeah, I went to help somebody move, and
God,
and I left with an ounce and a half of homegrown,
and that's homegrown.
Yeah.
Not what homegrown used to mean.
No.
When I was a kid, when I was first buying it in my teens, homegrown was like the worst. It was just the crappiest headache.
You don't know what you're doing?
It was terrible. And now it means it's completely different meaning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whole different thing.
Yep.
It is nearly hallucinogenic. And I understand, I haven't experimented a lot, but I understand some of the edibles are actually a mild hallucinogen because the stuff is so powerful. But I got off on a tangent there.
I can't eat them. It takes too long. I like that immediate.
Oh, you like immediate.
Because if I don't feel it right away, I'm just going to eat more. And then, you know what I mean?
Yep, I do. And then you're like, whoops, that did work.
And I'm sitting in a gutter playing with the flower.
Last time I did some edibles, it came on pretty quick. I think it was candy bars or something. And it didn't take long. Didn't take long at all. Yeah, it's plenty around to play with.
Almost every corner now.
Yeah,
there's a store.
Or two.
Yeah.
Or two. I noticed they have a lot of them real close by. We have one of the best ones just around the corner here, supposedly. Eugene Weekly says.
Oh, yeah?
Moss Crossing is like 4 blocks away.
Oh, I go to... now I can't remember. I go there a lot, you can tell.
Yeah?
No.
I just go in them to look because I think they're so cool, but it's too expensive. Like, I'd rather get the stuff people give me.
Sweet Tree, I think is the one.
Oh, Sweet Tree.
Sweet Tree Farms down there. Yeah, I go there. They have a little section that's discounted.
Oh, that's nice.
So it's a little cheaper.
Well, and actually
plus I get a military discount.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. It is good.
Everyone should give military discounts.
I think so.
Yeah.
And then some people are like, why? Just because you served the country, blah, blah, blah.
Just because you served your country.
And then I say,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of things. I do have some.
Okay. Yeah.
I have some subjects, and they're not questions at all.
Okay.
Aliens. You said you like aliens.
Oh man.
Yeah. So you like them? Like you like all the crazy stuff about them, or you actually like aliens? You've hugged a few.
I love the possibility.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen one. Well, not an alien. When I was a kid, I was in Bend. I was in the backyard at having a sleepover at my friend's house, and ironically, his name was Ryan too. And we were laying outside on the porch, looking up at the sky, and we saw this. What we thought was a satellite, amongst the stars in the summertime, and so it was coming across the sky, and just like a satellite would, until it just stopped.
Oh man!
And then it took a 90-degree.
Wow!
Took off, and we both kind of looked at each other, freaked out, and went back inside, and played Mario 3, I think, or something. But that was like the first kind of thing that had ever happened. It's funny because Nick Pemble was asking me last night about if I had ever had sleep paralysis, because I know that's kind of a thing for visitations that people have. And there was a time, in fact, right down here on the apartments on Polk that I was telling you about, there was a night where I woke up and I couldn't move, and the window into the bedroom was shining orange, and just outside was the parking lot, and so it wasn't red, it was orange like this,
like the light,
very bright. When I say this, I mean it like it's a salt rock on an orange tablecloth
in the castle.
In the castle, yeah, and coming through the room, and I couldn't move, and it was bright. It was brighter than a car for sure, and it couldn't have been. It wasn't amber. It was orange, and then black. It went black, and then I woke up in the next morning. I don't remember what if anything happened or anything like that. But,
right, but you remember that,
yeah. And there's another. I guess I sound really crazy right now. But
yeah, it depends. It depends
it's
who's
like
listening.
So I subscribe to Gaia, or I used to. I quit my subscription just for financial reasons. But there's a show on there called Cosmic Disclosure.
Okay.
And one of the guys on there who has had, apparently, according to him, dealt with aliens. Says that the message that they want to bring across is, to love each other, to bring our awareness and ourself to just love everyone, love it, but getting to the point here is that meditation is a gateway to connect with them.
Interesting.
And lucid dreaming is one of those things that you can do. And I can lucid dream.
So now, is that something that's very interesting to me? But keep going.
So there's one night that I was having this dream, and I started to control it and make decisions. And now this really sounds crazy, but I was in the ocean, and I got connected, not like physically connected, but to a whale. And the whale was going through the water. If it went down, I went down with it, right? And so it was like kind of testing me as far as depth goes. And then it just went way deep. And then I could not breathe, and it was getting really scary. And I felt like I was being tested for something. I don't know what, to go out in space, or to go maybe into one of those what they think are underwater bases down in the ocean, the bottom of the ocean. I don't think I passed.
But you knew it was a dream.
Yeah, so it's was it a dream, or was it an actual thing? Yeah, yeah. So I don't know if.
Well, that's how dreams are anyway. It's like we don't. That's something that no one seems to know much about. Right. It's like what is a dream? What is your consciousness doing when you're dreaming. Your brain, they can see on brain scans what your brain's doing.
Yeah, but what is that?
What is that?
Yeah.
They have no idea. Mm-hmm. I mean, for all we know, that is just as real as this world.
Right. Well, they say when you visualize something, your brain and body reacts in the same way as that you're actually doing it.
Oh, right. Well, and that's, I mean, you know a lot about that because you have anxiety. I mean, we all have anxiety. I mean, that's what anxiety is. It's your brain saying there's something going on that's maybe not physically going on. Mm-hmm. I mean, it happens with a lot of things. And all of us get this. You know, we worry about something that's going to happen. Mm-hmm. Our brain is actually going into the a little bit of the fight or flight mode. Right. It's starting to set off stuff that is completely unnecessary, but then it's hard to stop. And, you know, then it can just, all of us have this where it can just pile on and pile on and pile on.
And then it manifests in your body.
And then that too. Yeah. Yes.
With
I mean, that and
muscle tension,
muscle tension, all kinds of pains. I have constant back pain that is, that's probably a lot of that is from anxiety. It can be from a lot of different things. No one can find like physically what it is.
Right.
They can explain what it might be, but another thing about our body is there's a lot of things they can't see unless they cut you open.
Right.
Like
great examples.
They literally can't see what's under the skin.
Yep. I went to the ER a couple of days ago. Mm-hmm. Well, I went to urgent care because I have this recurring bowel thing or something with my intestines. It feels like they're burning. My belly button hurts and stuff like that. Anyway, I went to and she said, and I had high blood pressure and, abdominal pain is kind of a serious indicator,
serious,
Yeah. So she was like, you need to go to the ER. And she was like, I can't see with my x-ray vision, what's going on in there.
Yeah.
And so I went to the ER and it was 4 hours there with, waiting for the tests to come back, and they came back unremarkable, they said. So basically they don't know what it is.
Right.
Or why they hurt, or anything like that. And like, don't come back again unless you're crapping blood or,
Yeah. And that, so, and that sucks too, because, maybe it is anxiety, but maybe it's something actually going on and they won't find it till it's more serious, which is really scary. I mean, I hear these stories all the time where people have problems and they go to the doc, no, we don't see anything. And, a year later they say, oh, wait, you have a very rare form of cancer. But
right, exactly.
No, that's not.
Well, my T cells are good. And that was the only thing I was worried about.
Well, okay.
I was like, as long as my T cells are fine, I don't really care.
Right. So. Well, and you've been doing some extreme exercise, right?
I did it for 3 days.
Oh, 3 days.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that can cause all kinds of things to happen.
It destroyed my quads and I couldn't walk for about a week.
Well, there's one example.
But that's what you get for sitting on the couch and drinking beer for 6 years and eating pizza.
Yeah.
You deserve it.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. So I'm going to go back on Monday.
You are? Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's definitely an extreme way to start exercising, I have to say. But keep it up, man.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of my gig. I don't know. It's my gig. Yeah, I like it.
It's your thing? You like intense stuff?
I used to work out or bodybuild in the military.
Oh, you did? Yeah. I saw pictures of you like that. I thought you might have lifted a weight.
Yeah, I lifted a couple.
You might have lifted a weight or two.
Yeah, I thought it would benefit me in the construction field. So,
well,
and then I got addicted to it, and then started. I was trying to break 200 pounds, being all ripped and stuff like that, and I couldn't ever do it.
Oh, break 200 pounds of body weight.
Trying to get over, trying to gain to be.
Wow, that'd be huge.
Yeah, it was.
That'd be huge.
Yeah.
I used
to eat a cheeseburger,
I used to do a little weightlifting, and I've studied a lot of, not really I've studied a lot of kind of bodybuilding and exercise and things like that. And a lot of the people you see, especially the fitness stars of today, that are completely ripped and they look massive, they're not very big. Like someone your height would be 185. They're just solid muscle.
Yeah.
They're just, that's a lot of, if you're all muscle, it doesn't weigh much. If you have no fat on you, you don't weigh very much.
Yeah.
It's it doesn't weigh. You're not nearly as heavy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you were at 185 and sheer muscle, you would look huge.
Right.
You would look massive.
Because I've gone down. Lost a couple belt loops or belt notches.
Well, awesome.
Went down a couple, but I'm still at like 220.
I'm always struggling with being in between. Like, I've worked for years to lose weight, and the only good thing is I haven't gained a lot of weight. Like, I slowly lost a little, but I also, I haven't been able to exercise because of now I'm just paranoid that I'm going to hurt myself again.
Right. I was too.
I went through extreme pain for a long time, so I don't want to. I'm just paranoid, basically. So everything I've done is diet, and that's why I've read a lot of stuff. I mean, in reality, fitness is 90% diet. I mean,
absolutely.
You've got to exercise, but if you want to look like these, Hollywood stars, for instance, a lot of that is diet.
Absolutely.
And they go up. I mean, they go up and down in weight all the time for different roles,
which I would love to do.
Everything they do is diet based.
Yep.
It's just they are extremely. It's part of the discipline of acting. They're extremely disciplined. I've not found that discipline yet.
Now, I still might. When we
not giving up.
When we were doing Shakespeare and had the sword fight, we had the choreographer come in, and he does combat choreography around the area here with swords and guns and stuff like that. But he said if you want to be an actor, you need to get in shape because you never know when you're going to need to do something, run or whatever. And
it's true.
It's absolutely true. And if you're doing theater and you're doing something really intense for 2 or 3 hours on a go,
it doesn't matter what you're doing.
You are going to be tired.
It doesn't matter what you're doing.
It will wipe you out.
You do a theater play that's people sitting and talking. Mm-hmm. It's physical because it's not you. It's, you're taking on a different character. In most cases, you take on different physicality, even if you're not trying to. You will. And acting, any kind of acting is very physical, but it especially comedy acting. Pratfall's hurt. Doing all kinds of comedy stuff. Nick's been really generous with the fact that I'm injured and trying not to, make me run into too many walls and stuff. But comedy is just...
Is that a slight at me?
No.
So I ran into that wall the other day.
I probably didn't even remember that.
Oh, I walked right into the door.
Oh.
I don't know if anybody else was there.
Maybe you were by yourself. Don't worry about it.
It was going to be an awesome exit. And there's a door. There's a door frame right there.
So that will be an awesome exit. That's the kind of exit that Ryan needs. Ryan,
Joel. So interesting story. In this little show that we're doing, you're my brother, my younger brother.
No,
older brother. Well,
no.
What?
That was the joke in one of the first episodes. I say something about how everyone thinks he's younger, but he's older than me, and it's like we're really close.
Okay,
we're very close.
In real life, my half brother. In real life, my half brother's name is Joel.
Oh yeah,
and we don't get along.
And you don't get along.
Yeah,
so I haven't
spoken to him in a few years.
Oh, so you have easy motivation.
Oh, it's easy. I hate you.
Easy.
But I don't like that. I don't like to bring that into real life. But the character is the character, and I don't like to be perceived as. I'm always playing the asshole.
Are you?
Yes, I'm always an arrogant son of a bitch. And I'm like, and then sometimes.
But isn't it fun?
Yes.
Yeah. See. It's true.
It's absolutely fun because what a healthier way to get those feelings out. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Which is therapy.
It's there. Well, that's what I like about acting because for me, acting is very therapeutic. Yeah. Extremely. I mean, in a lot of different ways. You're forced to be around other people. You're often forced to get along with other people, which is not something we will necessarily do. Even at work, you don't have to get along with your coworkers all the time. It's not always a necessity, but when you're acting, you kind of got to get along with the other people if it's going to work.
Yeah.
You need to get along with the fellow actors. You really need to get along with the crew. They can
mess you up.
They can
just
mess you up.
I mean, all they have to do is misplace a prop.
Exactly.
You're screwed.
Whether it's theater or film, whatever you're doing, short films. So that's good. And then the therapy part is not just being another person, but I am extremely closed off a lot of times. The podcast is good for this too, that I go on and talk as if I'm an open person, but it's a lie. And so emotionally, I tend to be pretty closed off. So that's what acting, I think, is amazing for, is that it's about accessing emotion. That's what acting is. So it's very much like therapy that way. As far as I've never done therapy, but as far as I know, it's about accessing emotion. And so acting is, I think it's great therapy.
Yeah, I think you nailed it right on the head. You said you never done therapy. I have, but I did theater first, right? So I went to theater classes and all that before I went to therapy. Everything that they suggested in therapy, I had already learned in theater. Here's a breathing technique, and I'm like, oh yeah, I know that one. Here's a stretching technique. Oh, the sunset. Yeah, okay, I got you. We did the yoga thing. Here's meditation. Oh yeah, I know how to do that. I learned it in theater and acting. Acting is one of the best things that I've ever done. I think it was one of the best decisions for me. And I didn't realize why at the time, until I went to theater, or I went to therapy.
Yeah, that's.
And I was like, wow, that is exactly. It is. And people don't realize that, the lay person, the audience member that doesn't act, that just enjoys it. They don't understand how important and life-changing it can be. And
even actors don't, like you're saying, not. You don't realize that when you start off doing it. And, I mean, there are people out there doing acting as therapy now. That's like a thing I've heard of. That they teach acting classes, not just to be, they teach acting classes for therapy. They teach a lot of executives are taking acting classes to learn all acting techniques, to use in the workplace. And there's different things. I
think improv is a great one for like the salesman and people like that.
That's something I should really do more of. Improv.
It was, you know what? Yesterday was the first improv that I've done in, again, like I say, 6 years. And we all have the fear of like doing something new and meeting new people and doing it in an environment where we're going to be vulnerable and opening up, or just expressing and opening up a little bit. Right. But you know what? Right. Every single person there was welcoming and generous. And if there was one time that I didn't feel comfortable doing something, singing like a cat, because I couldn't think of a damn song. I listened to music all the time. I couldn't think of a damn song. Meow 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 meow. Right, and so it was okay. Like it was fine, and that eased me into it, settled me into it, and we finally did some other stuff, like a 3-minute scene that was just all improv and.
Sweet.
And it was amazing. It was so much fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I've always thought improv would be. It looks fun.
You should do it, man.
Yeah, I should. I should come do that, because it's also like the best acting exercises you can have.
It's great for exploration. Of the scene for
right. And I've done that. I've done improv in the midst of productions. Yeah. All kinds of different productions, which I think a director's really missing out if they don't do that. You should always, if you can, if you've got the time, have your actors improv scenes and then go back to the lines if you need to. Right. Most plays have lines and they want you to read them, but it's those authors. They're all weird about that.
There's so many different things you can do with the improv with that. Like you could you could have the lines scripted. Like I do it at home. Like when I'm trying to memorize lines for a show. And I'll do the lines in as many different places and instances that I can, like washing the dishes, and I'll be going through the lines washing the dishes as if I'm washing the dishes in the scene, which it probably isn't happening, or I'll do it, vacuuming or whatever, just so that I can. Because you'll discover different ways of saying something, saying a line, and you'll find the meanings, in it. And
you talking to me?
Yeah, exactly. And if you say
talking to me,
exactly. If you say things,
talking to me,
talking to you.
You know what that was? You know where that came out of? He was rehearsing.
No way.
Yep,
that's nice.
He was rehearsing, and the director's like, "That's fucking amazing. Can you? We're gonna shoot this now." Yeah. That was a rehearsal.
So
he was doing the acting exercise.
That's great.
Isn't it? It's beautiful. It's like, that's acting. So improv I do the same thing. When I do weird things with lines, I say them in ways that I'm never going to say them.
That's great too.
It's like I've got to get this ridiculous way to say this out of my head.
Yeah.
It's got to get this out here.
Yeah.
Like
accents or...
Hello, Mr. Smith. Hey, Mr. Smith.
Right.
I got to get the weird this weird shit out there.
Yeah.
So I can say it properly and not be...
Like a valley girl.
It's like, it's like I'm the possessed part of me has to get it out some weird way. I do that almost any time I have lines, especially when I get sides. I will, as I'm memorizing sides, I will read them a lot of just really stupid ways just to get it off my chest. Yeah. And sometimes other actors, I've done it in the when you're going back and forth to learn lines, and other actors will look at me like, "What are you doing?" But I'm just messing around.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of improv during the take, though, or on stage. Some people like to change things up.
Oh, change,
during the show without telling you. And I think that's so disrespectful.
Mm-hmm.
I would never do that to you. I would never throw you for a loop on stage because...
Oh, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like when you're rubbing your balls.
Right. Oh, well, see... I gave you I gave you warning about that,
You kind of
I said,
I would never,
And the reason that I would never do that is because I would never want you to do that to me because because I'm not real secure in my abilities to fix it.
To fix it. Oh, I see.
You know what I mean?
See, I'm kind of the other side of that in that I'm always sort of ad-libbing. I mean, I said this on my last podcast with Paul. I don't want to, and I've worked with, I know this is a different way to do it. Some people have every, I think this is the Mamet way. You literally have everything planned out. Mm-hmm. Every twitch, every little thing it's planned out. This is how you're going to do it. And for me, I'm a little more, I want to be in it. I'll say the lines, that I need to say, or I'll certainly try. And, I'm more about getting into that character and coming in. And, when I've done plays, it's still going to be real. Like the other actors might not even know that that's what's going on. But for me, it's got to, my character has to be there. Mm-hmm. So nobody says the same words the same way every night.
No.
Never.
No.
It doesn't happen.
We try.
We try.
I try to.
So,
but,
but it's like in real life, you're never going to say, "Hi, honey," the same way the next night. Mm-hmm. So that's just kind of something I try to do. I feel like it's not going to work if I'm doing the exact same thing every time. Mm. Like it won't sound natural unless I'm
I see what you're saying.
A little more natural. So it's not really improv. It's just not like every speech is not going to be planned out.
Yeah. Maybe I misspoke a little bit on that, but I try to, I don't know, keep the blocking or I'm not going to.
Well, I'm definitely not going to walk.
I'm not going to try to intentionally
come in on the
throw
wrong
you for a loop,
side of the stage. I do know what you mean. And I do know that's another technique is that actors will try and do that. They'll try and shake things up. And especially on stage, you're right. That's rude. In filming, it's almost like, well, if it doesn't work, screw it. We'll fix it.
That's a different.
That's a different thing.
That's a different animal. And it's either way, both of that, the improv comes in where it's fine when we're rehearsing to do that.
Right.
And even if during the run of the show we can be rehearsing and be like, let's try something because that's just not quite working or whatever. Of course, with the director's permission, to change it, throw that in there.
Right. Well, and some directors are extremely generous about your changes. Like when I mispronounced the word the other day, and my very first monologue, I mispronounced virtual reality. And I was just going to try it that way once. I just thought I would try it that way once. And sure enough, he loved it. So he actually made Hunter react to it.
Okay.
Nice. How annoying is that?
Yeah.
He doesn't even know what he's doing. So yeah, it can work.
On film, I like to do the same thing the same way every time, just for the editor's sake.
Well, yes, and you've done more directing and editing and stuff, and I'm surprised sometimes that I'm allowed to get away with so many things, because it's true. When you're editing, I don't know how you do it when every take is different. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
You want some consistency. You might want to use your audio from the last take for this take. Yeah. Because the audio from the last take might... So, yeah. It's definitely more important on film to try and get a little closer. Not be totally out there. You're also into photography.
Yeah, I like to shoot stuff.
You like to shoot things.
And then return them back to the wild.
shoot and release.
Like my child.
Shoot and release.
I like to shoot him.
I bet. Well, yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Especially when he's missing teeth already.
So, how old is he?
8.
He's 8?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll be 9 in December.
Wow. That's amazing, huh?
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
Man.
Little
totally changed me. Yeah.
Did it?
Oh, absolutely.
Everyone says that when they have a kid.
Made me, reanalyze myself, because I know that he is going to observe and absorb every single thing that I do.
Right.
Whether I realize he's watching or not, they're watching you and they're listening to you.
Yeah.
Right. So that made me realize, like, how am I going to be as a friend? How am I going to be as a son, an uncle, or how am I going to be with strangers in certain situations when he's with me? And the answer for me is the best that I can be.
Yeah, and it's awesome to have that.
Yeah, try to make every situation as positive as it can be.
Right.
Sure, you have to stick up for yourself in some, or whatever, but there's ways to do that that's not abusive.
Right.
I think.
Oh yeah.
But I like it. I like having a kid. That's cool,
That's good.
It's cool.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. And I'm also working out and losing weight so that I can play around with him. And he wants to be a stunt man.
Oh, does he?
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
So we were, shooting little film clips on my phone, because I have like a little film editor, real basic film editor. And he was like, "Okay, I'm gonna film you now." And so he was filming me, and he had me roll across the couch or whatever, and my shirt came up, and my big old belly came out, and I was like, "Okay, I'll do the shooting from now on." And then in the back of my mind, and when you get home, you're going to start exercising and losing weight, mister. Because holy moly, dude!
Wow,
like not happy with that.
Watch a few John Goodman films, you'll get over that. Get right over that.
Yeah. Roseanne, man, yeah, he's a good actor.
Raising
too,
Arizona.
I like him. I think he's an amazing actor.
Yeah. He's another character actor, but you always believe him. He's a very believable character actor. He's done a lot of comedy. Well, he's done a lot of everything.
There's a Cloverfield.
John Goodman's a good one. Yeah,
one that he did.
It's true. He just did it. Now I forget the name of it.
No, he was where he's underground.
Yeah.
The Survivalist.
The Survivalist one. And you don't know, you have no idea what's going on there. You're wondering, is he total freak and he kidnapped these kids? Or is he telling the truth?
Yeah.
Like, what is happening? And he's dad. That was, I think, the first thing I've seen him in that he was scary. That he's trying, And he's, of course, he's good at it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you play guitar, put some stuff up on YouTube. But
I play a little bit. I taught myself to play guitar. I can't read music at all.
Oh, really?
No.
Wow, all that time playing percussion and you didn't learn to read music?
No.
I thought, yeah.
Yeah, once we got to the timpani and it was like changing notes, I was like, fuck this.
Oh, okay.
I was out of there. You just
learned to read
I was like,
rests and whole notes and half notes. But
I said, really good at the paradiddle.
No notes, yep.
Paradiddle.
Yeah.
I can roll really good.
Yeah?
Kind of little bit.
It helps when you learn that young, I think.
Yeah.
I think it helps when you learn that really young.
Yeah, my son's mom's brother taught me the basic chords when we were living in Southern California, in Ventura. We were living in a little beach house, the three of us, and he kind of taught me the basic chords. And one Christmas, my mom bought my brother and I a guitar, and the deal was also a year's worth of lessons. And I didn't take the classes. I just was messing around with it and, looking stuff up. And basically I just kind of discovered what sounds good together. And,
nice.
And for me, it's just like shapes with my fingers, and they kind of just dance around and make.
Well, it sounds like you work on it, though. I've heard you play.
Yeah, I try to practice. There was a time where I was practicing really a lot. And I recorded a few. I think I had a CD where I recorded like 12 songs.
Oh wow!
But the hard drive died and crashed, and I let somebody borrow the CD. Borrow the CD. Never do that if you don't have a replacement.
No.
So the whole thing was gone, right? And songs with lyrics and that I was singing, and the Gunman video that I showed you that's on my thing. That all that guitar music is me recording and doing the whistles and stuff. And I recently got that Tonewood amp and put it onto my acoustic, and so I'm trying to get back into it again as much as I can.
That's good for you too. I think
I really like it. It's fun. Yeah.
It's good therapy, right?
It's nice. Yeah. Until your fingers hurt.
So
getting my calluses back right now. So.
That's why I never got into guitar. I couldn't see pressing, getting those little teeny strings, right, and pushing them into your fingers, and oh man, I mean, and there's you can't hit them.
Well, that research.
If you hit the guitar, that just doesn't sound very good.
Well, you can do the tapping and stuff.
Yeah, that's true. Not the same.
There's a dude, Morph, MORF. He's an English busker.
Oh, okay.
He's on Instagram, Morph Music, and he does a lot of the tapping kind of music, and really, really great. Yeah, it's so I do a lot of the what they call lift off tap. I don't know what it is.
Right.
I just hit the strings.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, make
it works. It works.
Yeah. You don't have to be trained to make music.
A week or so, no, it was more than a week ago, you were posting a bunch about atheism.
Oh.
What? Yeah. Were you pissed off at somebody, or you just
alcohol said you should post this?
That's funny.
You know what I'm saying? But it's true though.
So alcohol told you were an atheist.
This. Yeah. No, I am an atheist. It just said, go ahead and share that abundantly, more than you should. Yeah. No, I grew up with a lot of forced religion on me.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay. That might have turned me into an atheist. I was lucky, really lucky that way. My parents were very open. Very open.
Why should I be fearing God?
Yeah, well,
why should I be afraid of somebody that loves me so much? And then it just kind of turned into it's pretty much the quintessential abusive relationship. You're going to love me without question, or you're going to go to hell and burn forever. I will torture you forever. Well, I won't, but my buddy will.
My buddy. It's a fallen angel or something.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. So
something like this. I don't know that much about.
It's so hypocritical to
traditional
me
Christian
in my
thought.
mind. But I just don't see. It's blackmail, really.
That particular type of religion is blackmail, sure.
Yeah, and I don't really subscribe to the whole send money to.
Oh, you don't send money to Joel Osteen?
Are you kidding me?
Come on, why not?
Yeah. It's a good message. It's a good message, right?
Yeah, it's a good message.
Give me money or you'll go to hell.
And all will be fine.
God needs a golden throne. The Pope needs to sit on a golden throne and tell you to feed the poor.
Yeah.
whatever. Believe what you want, man. As long as you're not an asshole, I really don't care. You know?
That's what I think.
No atheist ever stoned a non-believer for not believing. You know?
Right. I think I know what you're saying.
An atheist never stoned anybody to death for not agreeing.
For not agreeing with atheism. Yeah.
For whatever they believe.
Or whatever.
Period.
Yeah.
You know?
So you had a strict upbringing, religious? Like what kind of?
Not really strict. My grandma here in Eugene, she was a Lutheran.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was very like at Christmas time we had to read a passage from the Bible, and we would pray. Just pray before a dinner. But I remember one time I was, how old was I? Like 8 or something. And we prayed, and I don't know. The devil must have come inside me because I threw a fit, man. And I was
really?
I was not going to pray.
At 8 o'clock?
Not doing it.
8 years old.
Yeah, I was like, no, I'm done. Out of here. And throwing a fit.
So early on, you figured out that wasn't a good thing for you.
Yeah, and then in my early teens, my mom was like searching for. She was, pretty sure she was doing a spiritual search, and she got involved with the Jehovah's Witnesses, and so I studied with them for about 2 years, just because mom was doing it. So I was
interesting when you were a teenager.
Yeah. And quickly realized that, I didn't like it. I just didn't understand why we should fear this guy.
Those are extreme.
You know what I mean? Like
that's an extreme religion, it seems to me.
Oh, it is very much
extreme religion.
And there was I just decided I wasn't going to go to the meeting or whatever they call them meetings.
Oh, do they?
I wasn't going to go to the meeting on Sunday.
They try and hide it by calling it a meeting. Yeah. It's not a service. It's a meeting.
Right. And she was like, "You're going to go, or you're not going to Hawaii." We had this trip to Hawaii planned to go visit my uncle that lived there. He was stationed there. He was in the Navy.
Oh, okay.
And we were going to get scuba certified and go over there and do all this stuff. And because I didn't want to go to church one day.
Oh man.
And
she
said, "You're not going to Hawaii."
Blackmail.
She's like, "You're not going to Hawaii."
Right.
And so I punched a hole in the wall. Early teen, like I'm not fuck this church thing. Right. It's basically like, and I've just it has never agreed with me. Mm-hmm. So that's just it. I mean, I really don't care what anybody believes. It's, it's not for me. But don't get mad at me for saying I don't agree with you, which happens a lot.
Oh, it does.
It happens a lot with a lot of Christian folk.
It's an interesting.
Not all of them, right?
Not all of them.
To say that it's not all of them. It's.
I find that a strange thing. It's I heard the statistic one time that the most feared people, I think it was in America. It had to be in America, not the world. The most feared people were atheists, and I'm like, what?
So here's the thing. If atheists,
how many atheists have yelled about how their atheist beliefs and then blew up a building?
None. Zero.
None. All of the extremists are connected to some kind of religion.
If we got rid of,
not that I'm an atheist, but I'm not a religious.
So if you got rid of the religious people that are in prison, like lifted and just got rid of them, sent them to hell or whatever you're going to do.
Whatever you're going to do. There'd be nobody there.
There would be you would get rid of almost, I think it's 90% of the prison population. Because only 1% identify as atheists. In the prison.
Yeah. And a lot of these.
You don't need religion.
A lot of these people are hypocrites. Just because they get a tattoo of a cross, they're not.
Plus, there's not much else to do.
Necessarily religious.
I guess. Yeah.
So, I imagine.
I don't know. I would like to disclaim this by saying I don't think that all religious people are evil and bad and confused, and I don't want to put the wrong message out there. It's just not for me. Thank you. No, thank you.
All right, now that
I will take a cracker and a little sip of wine though. If you have any.
Yeah, okay. I think I have a cracker and a little sip of. No, I don't have any wine. No, I hardly have any alcohol. I'm so non-alcoholic. I have a little bit. I have some homemade potato mash whiskey.
Ooh.
No, I don't.
No, dang.
I'm improvising.
So
this is
so full disclosure. I do have a drink or two now and again. I would say that I'm probably an alcoholic. The test that came back, they said that my kidneys are functioning at the level of a heavy drinker.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that what made you think you were an alcoholic, or did you already have some hints?
Well, I never had an alcoholic drink until I joined the military. And I never had any drugs until I joined the military.
Oh, well, see, same thing might have happened if you got into college.
So from 18, because I turned 18 in boot camp.
Right.
And then I went to Mississippi for carpentry school. And that's when I had my first beer and got drunk and told everybody I loved them and I was going to remember them for the rest of my life. Right?
Yeah.
And it never ended from there.
That was it.
Pretty much never ended. When we were in England, we ordered a flatbed we could pre-order our cases of beer. So we did it.
Wow.
And it took a flatbed truck to bring it home. And there's two or three of us, and we built thrones out of the cases of beer.
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean,
it's kind of a college thing to do.
It is kind of it's kind of an 18 to 22-year-old thing to do. I mean, that's not uncommon, but it's not all of us are going to recover from that. So this is the first time anyone's admitted to being an alcoholic on my show.
Really?
I can't say that it's the first time I've had an alcoholic on the show. I don't know. I have no idea. But what do you have do you just I'm an alcoholic, whatever? Or are you thinking you need to do something?
Well, it depends on how heavy the hangover is, I think. And I make light of it, but it's serious. It
is serious because
because I do have a history of alcoholism in my family, and in fact, even my stepfather, when I was living with him up until I was 8, and he was a very heavy drinker, pee his pants on the couch, sleeping bad.
My dad was a functional alcoholic.
Yeah.
So a lot of people didn't think he was an alcoholic,
right.
But us kids knew you don't just have a bottle of wine every night, and that's not normal.
Right.
That's not what you normally do. Yeah.
My main, and I have a relative. I'm not going to say which relative, but I have a relative that is a very hardcore alcoholic, and has tried the whole rehab thing, but
didn't work.
Talk their way out of it.
I think that this is just my opinion. I'm not a doctor, although I could play one on TV.
Hint, hint.
I don't. But
agent.
It's what I've seen in my life. Obviously, I've known a lot of alcoholics. I live in America. I'm old-ish. No. I've known and know a lot of alcoholics, and I really think there is no way to force them to get help. And you see this a lot in the media where these people go to rehab. Usually it's for alcoholism and drugs, but you see it a lot with celebrities. So-and-so went to rehab, and it's and whose idea was that? Because if it wasn't their idea, it's never going to work.
It's not going to work.
It's not going to work. And plus, you hear about a lot of these rehabs that you can buy your way out. Basically, you can buy your way out, or you can get whatever you want when you're in there. So, I think that rehab is I don't think you can quit unless you want to quit. I mean, it's the same.
That's very true.
Yeah. It's the same with cigarettes. True. The only people I know have successfully quit smoking have just said, okay, I'm done. They put their cigarette down and that was it. They just,
See, I can do that.
They came to an idea that, man, this is killing me. What am I doing? Mm-hmm. And they stopped.
Yeah.
I know tons of people who've tried to stop by, the patch, or now the new thing is vaping.
Because you're still getting the nicotine.
You're still getting the
So you're not quitting.
Exactly. You're not quitting. You're not
substituting.
Detoxing.
Yeah.
You're not doing the detox unless you get that crap out of your system. Mm-hmm. And from what I understand of every smoker, I've tried to be an addict with many things, but it's never taken. It's true. Because I have an addictive.
Tried.
I've had an addictive history. Alcohol. I don't like to throw up, and I know from knowing a lot of alcoholics, they don't care.
Wow.
Like, it doesn't bother him that much. It's like, yeah, sometimes I throw up, sometimes I wake up, I don't know where I am. But it doesn't bother someone who's going to be addicted to it. My latest attempt was with painkillers. And I mean, I didn't really try to get addicted. I just know that I don't have the personality because I had enough that I could have been addicted to them. I could have taken a lot more, but I hated the side effects. It's like people find this fun.
Right.
I couldn't understand it. I got two different kinds of things. Opioids, and I'm like, how in the hell do people get addicted to something that doesn't let you poop? It's
Whoa.
Like, what?
Man,
what?
yeah. If you can't poop, man.
That's what opioids do to you. They stop you, man. They stop you right up.
Oh, man. So, you got to poop.
Oh, you got to poop. It's
I'm
part of
a
life.
firm believer of talking about and inspecting your poop. I saw it on Oprah.
If you saw it on Oprah.
She had the whole,
My God.
if your poop is floating, there's too much fat in your diet. If it's sinking, it's too much, there's not enough or whatever. I'm like, so it needs to be floating there like a landmine?
What the
or
heck?
a sea mine, whatever. I'm just like, as long as it's freaking firm, man. And you know what I mean? Like, not
for me, it's as long as it's not staying in me. I'm fine.
That's true.
As long as it's not sticking around. Because I've had stomach problems my entire life. And like as a teenager, I was diagnosed with irritable bowel syndrome. Syndrome in my system.
There you go.
I got the syndrome
in my system.
Suddenly, we both caused me.
And we're going to hell.
It's good.
Go straight to jail. Do not collect $200.
Christ on a popsicle stick. So where was I going with that? Oh, irritable. Yeah. When I was 40 years old, and I came back to Oregon, I went to a doctor, and she said, "Oh, so you think you have irritable bowel system? You have problems with your bowels? Have you tried not drinking milk?"
What?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, "What? Have you tried not doing dairy? Have you tried stopping dairy?" Oh, I've gone a day or two without dairy. She's like, yeah, it takes about 2 weeks. And I was like, well, you're out of your mind. 2 weeks.
That includes cheese.
Yes.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, and cheese is actually, they have, I don't know if you've seen this, but I've seen it a couple times. There's actually a substance in cheese that acts in your brain just like opiates. That's why people,
is like,
it makes you all relaxed and high, and cheese is, it's such a beautiful thing. So that was tough. Anyway, yeah. So not even dairy has helped, but I'm still, as long as my system works, I'm happy.
Yeah.
I've had so much.
That's one of the
problems.
things they said with this belly thing that I have going on. They don't know what it is, but they don't want, so eat low fat. Less dairy is what they were saying.
Interesting.
And so for me, because I've had such good success doing the keto diet, that's like, well, crap, man.
But keto without dairy is still pretty doable.
Well, yeah, but
pretty doable.
It's the cheese, man. That's my source of some of the happy fats,
right?
But
you just got to switch to avocado.
But I think I'm gonna.
And butter is a lot easier on your stomach. My stomach than cheese. There's lots of stuff because there's lots of tasty things you can eat on the keto.
I think I'm gonna go more plant based.
That's probably that always helps the gut too. Because I've never gone fully plant based, but I do. I have weeks where I cut down on meat, and it's just your body has an easier time digesting without a lot of meat in your system. And but it also, when I was being more strict about keto, I noticed I ate way less.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
Way less,
and I do too.
Today you're filled up so easily.
Yeah, today I had scrambled eggs with some pico de gallo in it and some bacon, and then. That's all I've had today. Yeah. And I'm not hungry.
You're good.
So if you're not hungry, don't eat. Right.
And that's a big thing too.
Yesterday I had the same thing for breakfast, and then for lunch I had some pan fried salmon and made a creamy lemon dill garlic sauce.
Oh wow.
For it. I like to cook too.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, that's right. You're into cooking. I see your cooking photos. Facebook. Sometimes you put up a cooking photo.
That's more for my Instagram keto fans that I have no clue who they are.
But they're out there.
You do a hash. It's amazing. You do one of those hash brown hashtag things. Hash brown tags. Hashtag hash brown. And you get a lot more likes.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Or whatever it is.
Fucking whatever.
Yeah. whatever. Exactly. It's funny because you are someone who posts. I would say you post more than almost anyone I know. But
I know, and I'm trying not to.
Well, you also seem to not really care about it that much, which is an interesting. Like you're not out there trying to get likes or followers or whatever.
When there's a heavy amount of posts,
you're drunk. That's when you've been drinking.
Yep,
He did the drinking sign.
I did the drinking.
This is an audio
Mahalo, man.
Right. Hang loose, man. Yeah. I just got back from the Paradise.
Oh, yeah. I saw those pictures. I was slightly jealous. I've been to the airport there.
I love it there. Yeah, but I've said that probably enough times. So some people are like, shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
just
then
because you like naked people. I've been watching a lot of Magnum PI lately.
Naked people. Oh, have you?
Yeah. In fact, I left it on for my dog.
One?
No.
Okay. Thank God.
No, jeez.
Thank goodness. Please. It's got to have the 308 in it. Isn't it a 308?
Yeah.
Ferrari.
The Ferrari, yeah.
And the helicopter.
Yeah, TC and the
TC.
Island hoppers.
I used to work out at a gym in Hollywood. I think it was a Gold's Gym. And he would come in there like...
Tom Selleck?
No, TC. I don't know that actor's name.
Oh, I forgot.
He looked the same. He was a lot older. This was at least 10 years after the show, and I don't think it was that young on the show, but he was like beefed. He was big dude,
living off of his earnings.
No, I mean
I mean
jacked. Yeah.
Paying for the gym.
Yeah,
I quit going to the gym after it was not free after the military.
Oh, okay.
So that's how I got fat.
Well, I'm surprised
Plus
it's not
beer.
Free if you're on benefits. It should be.
Well,
it should be free. Because,
And they won't even give me a discount.
The beer would have something to do with you're not that fat.
I know. Well, not anymore. I mean...
Taking it off.
Yeah.
So you ever heard of, I've talked about this before, have you ever heard of the Iceman?
MacGyver?
No,
not MacGyver, Top Gun?
No, the Iceman is he's a fitness guru who believes in cold therapy. He jumps in ice water all the time. Yeah. Oh, I thought you might be into that kind of thing because you like extreme stuff. But another thing he does is a meditation that's just really deep breathing. Really deep breathing, and then you hold your breath. And after you breathe in this method, you can the first time you do like 3 rounds. In the first round, you hold your breath for like a minute and a half after breathing out, and it's really it's really a mind blower because you have no problem because you've just oxygenated yourself really good, and so then you let all your breath out and you hold it, and then the next time around you do it for 2 minutes,
like a free diver.
Like a free diver. But it's interesting though because I heard a podcast with a free diver who also is a fan of this guy, the Iceman, and she said, well, that's a really cool technique, but it's not what you do for freediving at all. It's a whole different technique for actually learning to hold your breath for 5 minutes. Freediving sounds amazing to me.
Really?
I love snorkeling.
Oh, no.
And freediving is, they're trying to go as deep as they can with big fins. Right. That's okay. But also, you can just use it to learn to hold your breath and dive down deeper without tanks. And basically, explore. Explore.
Rather than being tethered to a line with a weight dragging you down.
Or a tank, whatever. Yeah. No tanks, no sound, basically. So I thought that would be a fun thing to learn.
I got put off of the whole snorkeling thing when I was in Guam.
Oh, yeah?
And I was
what happened?
I was snorkeling in this little reef or whatever. And, it was beautiful. And I just, so I was out there, and I went out, and then the shelf just dropped off.
Isn't that amazing? That freaked you out.
No, that's not amazing. It went from beautiful, colory, finding Nemo, and then to the abyss,
darkness.
and it got cold.
Yeah.
And then I went from like 5'11" to like ant in relative size to the ocean.
Oh yeah.
And I haven't stepped foot in the ocean since.
That's interesting.
That was in 1996.
I'm just the opposite. I would have gone, great. I mean, I would have turned around.
I get scared in the pool thinking there's a shark.
Immediately, but I still would have taken a second to go, yes.
Yeah.
Because that's what I like about being, that's what Hawaii is school for, because Hawaii is warm water. So like Guam. Yeah. Well, Guam's a couple of yards beyond Hawaii.
It's a little farther, but
a little farther. Yeah. Same water, same part of the Pacific. It's still that warm Pacific Ocean.
Big water.
Same big
ocean. Yeah.
But that's what is awesome to me, is to be able to swim around in a warm ocean and relax and look at stuff.
Yeah.
And if I've gone pretty far to where it was deep enough, but the water I was in was always extremely clear, so I could see that 30, 40 feet down. But when you go to where it drops off, that's a whole nother world.
Yeah, that's Bob Ballard.
I find it just fascinating.
I do find it fascinating. I love watching
amazing stuff.
The documentaries of like the Bob Ballards, the guy who found Titanic or or what, just super into the science that it takes to go that deep, to where if you were to step out, you're just done. You're done. You're crushed in milliseconds.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the weight of the ocean, the water.
It's funny. See, that makes me way more nervous than snorkeling, because, that's like going in space.
Totally.
It's the same thing as going into space. If something happens to that vehicle, I mean, I can't say for sure, but I think I would get really claustrophobic. I think I would start to freak.
Yeah.
I
have a hard time breathing during the snorkeling.
Wow. And that one I got, I always, the first time I go in, after the first 15, 20 minutes, I go, oh yeah, relax.
Right.
Relax. You can breathe. And I'm also notice I'm clamping down on the snorkel. I'm like, oh! And if I did,
it's not just me.
It's not just, I think it's a common thing.
Wow,
you're in the water, you're not jumping out and opening your mouth.
I think I am.
Yeah. You are special. You are special.
Thanks.
Absolutely.
Oh, sorry.
Ryan Seacrest. You're so special that I think I'm going to wrap this up.
Okay.
And let us go, because we've been babbling a while.
Is this
we've been
interesting?
Going a little while.
Do you think this is even interesting to anyone?
I have no idea.
Well,
I don't know if the entire podcast is interesting to anyone. I mean, I'm finding out it's not interesting to that many people.
I don't mind listening to it. I think you have a very inviting voice.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So you're one of the elite. That's what I refer to my listeners as, the elite. And you actually are one of the elite, because you're a veteran and you went overseas and you did some stuff.
Yeah.
So you're one of the actual elites. Yeah.
We didn't talk about that at all.
We barely talked about it. We barely touched on it.
I thought we were going to really talk about it.
Okay, well, let's do that. You come back on.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I'm going to.
Maybe we don't have to.
I'm going to keep doing this.
Okay.
And so if you would like to, we can have you back on. And actually, I do definitely want, when we get close to a release, I want to have, all the people on, talk about it.
Oh, out of focus. Oof.
Out of focus.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have the next viewing at my house.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, so.
Right on.
I think there's more comfortable seating there that way.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. So you got a theater and stuff? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was going to wrap this up, and then I just start babbling again. Yeah. I want to thank everyone that is listening, the elite, for listening. If you like the show, share it, because, I could use more listeners. I would love to keep doing this. I'm going to keep doing it regardless, but, if eventually I could have more people listening, I don't know. It might be more interesting. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Just keep listening.
Just keep listening.
Keep listening.
We'll sing and then we'll keep going. What are we even doing? I don't know.
I need a drink.
Was that pigs? All right. Thanks a lot. This has been Joel Albrecht. This has been Were You Still Talking? With Ryan Olson. And thank you so much for listening. Be good to each other.